Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death.
All right, Connar, what are you up to?
Well, I could kill a day and get the results of my magic items back, but Qualnir has 4 willpower. He's not very good at, just killing a day when there's interesting stuff happening. So he kind of wants to go cause some shit. He kind of wants to sneak in there right now and just murder. No, we're going to wait to see what the potion... We're going to wait. We're going to wait, Qualnir. You know what we're going to do to try and take our mind off of the waiting? Is we're going to go shopping with Michelle for decorations for the house. We don't have to roleplay it, Ryan, if you don't want to, but we're just going to go...
I don't particularly know, unless there's something you would like to buy.
No, we'll just stroll around town, arm in arm, buying, let's get that, and let's get that. And those drapes, how much do those drapes cost, Michelle? It's only 5,000 gold. Well, okay, well, in that case, let's buy the drapes, blah, 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 you know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll husband and wife it up. We basically... Yeah, I should marry Michelle.
It says she'd say yes.
She might not. It might help, though. Married. There's probably laws about making wives testify against husbands and that sort of thing. Testifying against wives. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't know how our justice system works, but maybe the priests of justice can tell you.
Perhaps. Qualnir's a bit impulsive. He opts not to mention the thoughts of marriage to Michelle, and instead just goes around buying fun things all day. And then tomorrow we're going to take a look at the loot if we survive the night.
Okay. Thank you for not breaking into the library and getting yourself murdered.
Another time.
Another time. Yes. All right. So we'll fast forward to the next day. I don't know if you've gotten the window replaced yet, but you've certainly refurnished the room.
Oh, lovely.
Get yourself a new bed, a new desk,
new bed,
the perfect drapes that are now wafting in the breeze from the broken window.
Mm-hmm. Maybe some wind chimes to hang outside the window.
Yeah, you're at full HP. Yeah, yep. You're fine. You're not tracking time for any reason.
Nope.
So you go home. Next afternoon, you come back to the library. The same woman is tending the desk. Let's see what you dropped off those. And then she finds the paperwork. Okay, it looks like your oil. They were both magic. Nice gamble on Detect magic spell.
I don't gamble.
Let's see here. I don't think I remember. Or if I had it written down, it's long gone. So we're going to go ahead and just re-roll.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Or do you know what? I think I remember. This was an oil of etherealness.
Ooh.
She will give you a brief description. So this light oil, it is applied to flesh, conferring etherealness. Yeah, so it will take you to the ethereal plane for a couple of turns, maybe around an hour.
And who can I talk to about the ethereal plane and how it works?
There are sages in the library. If you have coin, I can get you in touch.
That would be lovely. But after we hear about the other thing.
Oh, right. You had what you had here was and she like pulls out a sealed box. Not the box you had brought it in. Looks like you had a hag's eye, they're called. It's a scrying device. It lets the creator spy on whoever has the misfortune of stumbling across it.
One way, though,
How
right?
long? What do you mean one way?
I can't spy back.
She looks down at some other papers. I mean, if you have coin, I could see what we could further divine about the item.
You didn't discover all of its charges? All of its properties? I thought I paid handsomely for that.
I did. As magical item, it only functions the one way.
See. Okay. Continue.
But that doesn't mean that a skilled diviner couldn't work things out with other spells.
Right. I understand. So, the hag looks through it at us.
That's the general purpose. I don't know for sure if a hag owns it. That's just what they call them.
Right.
Now, you said you wanted to know about the ethereal plane.
Yes, I do.
Shall I get you a book or a person?
A person, please. I don't have time for reading.
Right. Oh, what does a sage cost? Modifiers. The resources required can be formidable. All right. Yeah, sages run 1,000 GP a day. It's not unheard of. But if you slip me 50, I can give you the overview.
Please. And while I'm slipping you 50, why don't you slip me back the 3,000? 2 items, 2 properties. I believe I gave you a 5,000 JP gem.
She looks down at her sheet and it appears you have. I guess we'll have to wait till that appraisal gets approved.
Fine.
But you can pick up your change on another day. Harold can do research for you, and she points down down the hall to an old man at the end. 1,000 GP a day.
Speak with that.
And man. she slides you over your. Do you want this, or shall I dispose of it? She gestures to the box with the containing the hag's eye.
I reach out and rest my hand on hers and take the box from her.
She pulls her hand away.
I'll hold on to it, thank you. You said Harold is his name?
She shrugs. Looks like he's free.
The elves
Can never really tell with him.
We elves appreciate things of beauty, and that man is fine. If he knows what
If you want beautiful things around you, you gotta pay for them.
Do you know the secrets that Harold may teach me? I would be happy to work with you.
She's getting back to paperwork. You appear to have said something that offended her.
I'm not surprised. Qualnir he's not a good person. I will go and talk to Harold.
All right. Harold will cost you 1,000 GP a day.
I will pay the 1,000
Awesome.
GP a day. Yeah.
All right. In what form will you be presenting this?
Oh, I'll tell him that I've got a tab with the library and they owe me a bunch of money and he can take it out of there.
And what is your name, elf?
Qualnir.
Qualnir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you want to know about the ethereal plane?
I pull out the potion, the oil of etherealness. This is an oil of etherealness. I need to know how it functions specifically before I use it.
Well, you should have it identified by the diviners.
It's already identified by the diviners.
Oh. Well then. I can prepare you a treatise on the inner planes, if you'd like.
Sir. If I rub this oil all over my fleshy body...
Well, typically, you will temporarily be transported to the ethereal plane.
Wonderful.
Or rather,
in the
your
ethereal
skin,
plane...
it'll absorb through your skin, and you'll go ethereal from the outside in.
That's lovely. While I'm ethereal, can I move around? Can I see the real world around me?
The ethereal plane borders our own. You can see things, but they may not be as they appear.
Explain. What does that mean?
Same, but different. It'll all be in the treatise.
I don't want the treatise. I want you to talk to me.
Oh, well then. Let's have a seat. And I think eventually the guy gets the gist. You're not paying him 1,000 gold a day to go do a day's worth of research. You're just gonna
I just want to talk.
take his time, and he probably knows a thing or two about planes.
Yeah. So what I want to find
You see,
out...
all around us, even right here, there's
ethereal...
there are other dimensions, other planes that, well, some of them mirror our own, some of them border our own, as they say. Still others are distantly related or not at all.
Harold,
Mm-hmm.
if I were on the ethereal plane, could I lift up your book?
Oh, no.
No.
Unless you had some way to pass between them. Maybe if you brought an oil of unetherealness with you, and then applied it while you were ethereal.
How long does this oil, ignoring his question, or premise, take to rub into myself and become active?
Well, I can't be sure unless you know the wizard that made it, but typically
Ballpark,
an hour.
And how long does it last?
Oh, typically an hour. What was your question?
How long does it take to rub in to me, to take effect?
Well, if you really want to enjoy yourself, it takes an hour. But if you're in a hurry, three minutes will probably be fine. I don't know, how long does it take you to oil up your body?
I don't know, Harold. I've never oiled up my body before. Maybe I should practice.
How do you keep your skin so young without regular moisturizing?
Elven secrets.
You know,
Yes?
on the subject, I'm not racist, but, someone like you should really be able to move around the ethereal plane quite well. An innate Fane connection and all.
Are you saying I can move?
That wasn't offensive, was it?
No, sir, it wasn't. Are you saying that I should be able to just move into the ethereal plane on my own?
Ooh, if you're a very sneaky elf.
That's a little racist. Hold on there. It's okay though. I feel the same way about you that you feel about me. You humans are just fat and stinky. And loud.
What's that?
Yeah, you know what, Harold? I actually do like you better than the very attractive woman sitting over at that table. She had something that stirred me, but I like you, man. How old are you?
79. Been at this a long time, young whippersnapper.
You know, when I was your age, I hadn't even begun my adventuring career yet. In fact, I think
it's a little late for me to start. I'm afraid you'll have to go on these plane hopping adventures on your own.
3 minutes to rub it in. Have to rub it in on flesh, right? Can't rub it in through armor. Has to be on the flesh.
Has to be on the flesh. But if you just apply it to the exposed spots and, maybe stick a little down on your hand and down the trousers and just the convenient spots to reach.
Okay. And
you should also apply it to the gear you want to.
I rub it on the things that I want to take with me as well. Oh, that was my next question I was going to ask you. Thank you. That's actually very important. For a moment there, I was imagining Qualnir having to storm into Granite's place completely naked except for his sword in order to rub the oil on without having to take all my gear off. But this will work much better. Although I kind of do like the idea of naked Qualnir storming Granite's.
Maybe that's how you interpret the directions.
Maybe.
No, you paid 1,000 GP for this information. I think sage ought to be worth something.
Okay, Howard.
Harold.
Harold.
And actually, I am a master sage. You should really be speaking to me with some sort of honorific. But I suppose because you're so ancient and all, maybe I can let it slide.
What if I call you Master Howie? Is that a nice middle ground? Extra familiarity and extra formality?
Harold. Master Harold.
All right, Master Harry. I got it. And as long as we're talking, I pull out the other box. You're familiar with a hag's eye?
I think I've heard ghost stories. Hags use them to spy on their servants.
I have one.
Sometimes maybe they slip them in with a candy cottage, and some poor boy or girl takes it home, and the hag watches them while they sleep to see if they're good boys and good girls, and if they deserve coal or more candy. I'll have to look it up, and I'll write you a treatise.
No, Howard, that's fine. Harold, I have a hag's eye here, you see, and I was hoping you.
Why would you bring that into the library? She's probably reading my secret manuscript as we speak.
It's stuck. It's in the box. She can't see through the box, buddy. She can't see through the box. But I was hoping you could help me play a trick on this hag who apparently has been spying on me for some time. Do you think there's a private room we could go into? And I will explain my plan to Howard, Harold, which is basically I want him to
You want to explain this in a private room? There are private study rooms on the upper floors.
What I need you, Harold, are you familiar with the juvenile practice of the brain? I need to repay this hag a favor. And I don't know if you're the sort of man who would do this for me, but I need an old person to do it.
You're paying the fees. Consider it done. And
All
he
right.
takes the box and walks upstairs.
You do what you need to do, buddy. You put on a good show and bring it back when you're done.
All right. And Master Harold, the Master Sage, takes his leave.
Yep. I'll give him a little while. How long does he take to...
Maybe 10 minutes, if you want. Yeah, he'll come back downstairs and give you a firm nod and hand you the box back.
I clap him on the shoulder. You're a good man, Harold. A far better man than I.
I showed that witch what for.
And I'll leave. I'll leave the library.
All right.
Okay.
You head back into the sunny seats of Solstice down the Esplanade, or do you just cut straight home? Where are you off to now?
I'll take a stroll around the city while I presume myself, think to myself about what to do next. Well, I do want to go kill them dwarves. Definitely want to kill Granite. I was hoping that I could, like, use the etherealness to sneak into his room, kill him, and sneak back out, but it's a single-use item, so I could use it to get in or to get out. Using it to get in would allow me element of surprise. No. I want to use it to get out. I want to sneak in, beat to unconsciousness Granite. Or, you know, like, get him on death's doorstep and patch him up. And then ethereal him and me to my house. So I'm going to run back into the library really quickly and just ask Harold if this oil contains enough for 2 people and...
what's that? And he like looks up.
2 people.
Elf.
Well, let's
Master
cover 2
Elf.
people. Yeah.
No. The portion you have is probably sufficient for one person or elf, plus your gear.
What about
maybe if you stripped completely naked and didn't bring your gear, you could cover 2 people with it.
Do you think it could cover an elf and a smallish human?
If you stripped completely naked and didn't bring any of your gear.
And 1 dagger.
That might work.
Okay, thanks, buddy. And I leave. All right.
You just had to find a way to get naked here, didn't you?
What? You're pushing the nakedness upon me.
It's the only way that the oil is enough to cover more than one person.
I will accept that. All right, here's the plan. The plan is to cause a distraction, and then to try and sneak into Granite's bedchambers, and then wait for him to go to bed, and then when he goes in and gets ready for bed, we like crawl out from under his bed like the monster and beat the shit out of him, and then GTFO. So I'm gonna go home. I'm going to change into my regular, dirty, everyday clothes. I'm gonna ask Michelle to like carefully braid my hair so it's like tight against my head, and then I'll tuck it, you know, deep into my clothes as well, so my hair isn't so like long and wavy and all over the place. I'm gonna take my dirty ass crappy cloak and put that on. So I'll have like crappy clothes, crappy cloak, bloodletter, and the oil of etherealness, and that's it. So no more armor, which brings my AC down to 13, actually. Is not fantastic.
Are you taking Michelle with you? Is that the plan?
No. Michelle's going to stay behind.
Who's the second person? Oh, you were planning on applying it to yourself twice.
No, to myself and the dwarf, so I could take the dwarf out. Yeah.
Okay, then.
Now I need to create a diversion. Michelle, sweetie. What would it take for you to put on a performance down by the docks that would grab everybody's attention? What do you need to attract the eye of every man in town down by the docks?
Well, I could attract the eye of every man on the docks without a thing.
Perfect. That's what I need you to do, darling. Make sure you do it near that warehouse. We want all them dwarves looking at you. We want them surely distracted.
Dwarves will be tougher, but...
Can do it. I believe in you, Michelle.
Now?
Do you need time to prepare? We can do it tomorrow.
She stands up and picks up her harp case and heads to the docks.
All right. I will not follow her. If she's heading to the docks, I'm heading to the docks too. But I am going to head up via that top route. I want to stay off the docks and kind of like sleeping my way around.
All right. Are you taking any extra precautions?
No, I'm just dressed as a dirty old person. Dirty old human. Dagger tucked inside my cloak. Oil inside my cloak. Nothing else on me. No other gear.
Mm-hmm. Roll a perception check.
Ooh, terrible.
Okay. Yeah. You're looking around. You don't see Michelle at first. Then you get around here to the steps, and you can see a small crowd gathered. Mm-hmm. And your elf ears pick up the distant thumbing of harp strings. And so she appears to have... You gave her some time, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is like an hour or so later. She's gathered a crowd and is... actually, let's see. Providing a fair distraction. Actually, not that good. But at least a distraction.
Does it look like
what you'd expect from a busker? Right? People are stopping and listening and throwing money.
I try and see if I can tell if any of those dwarves are distracted.
You see a couple of dwarves sort of leaning about, watching. Yeah.
I will slip down these stairs. Is there any sort of doorway on this wall? Or window way?
There are windows sort of like at the second story. You're climbing down the wall when you hear an ominous clang, clang, clang. You're not surprised, but you didn't notice getting noticed, and you see one of the steel golems hulking around the corner, flanked by two dwarves. They like pat him on the pauldron and point you out on the staircase, and he begins like trudging in your direction.
Well, no point.
You've been spotted.
That's fine. I wait.
All right, he slowly trudges up to the base of the staircase, and you hear echoing in his helmet.
What are you doing here, elf? You're not welcome.
And he like hoists a warhammer to his shoulder. He also has a large shield, actually almost as tall as he is.
I'm just here to enjoy the show, I say, pointing towards Michelle. You ever seen anything like that?
He roll a charisma check.
For Qualnir or Michelle?
For Qualnir.
Not so good.
Yeah, he doesn't look. Even the battle dwarf is just the same silly little gnome. So he clanks up to you, basically. He's a few stairs below you, so you've got the high ground. The sun is setting over the docks, and the last rays of sunshine are glinting off of the dull black iron, the dwarf's armor.
I said, get.
I nod and walk away slowly. I leave him be.
I should probably avoid just snagging whatever shows up and roll 20, but hey. It's Dwarven Steel Golem.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Alrighty.
I'll back out. I will leave them to their devices.
Okay. Where do you retreat to?
I'm just gonna head back up and kind of like walk around and come around this way. And is there room between this building and the edge of the water here to hang out? It looks like
there's a little bit. Yeah, there's some bluff. Right. Yeah. The building does go right. There's probably like a small space for a small garden. I don't think there is one.
All right, I'll just walk along this side. Trying to maybe be a little inconspicuous. I don't know if there's people around. I will try and keep to the shadows if possible.
What are your relevant skills here? What is your hide in shadows check?
Hide in shadows is 75. Move silently is 95.
All right, so you slip behind that building and try and get a view. You do hear the ominous clank, clank, clank following you, and eventually the dwarves come to take a look, but they don't appear to notice you. Like you've hide yourself in the shadow or whatever on the backside of the building, and they kind of come back here, look around, and don't spot you. So do you hide it out?
Yeah, I'm going to. I want to take a look onto that building. The warehouse below me. How far down is it?
Not much. There's a what do you call it? Like a fence, a balcony or whatever. There's like a short stone wall that would keep you from falling off of this ledge. But you're probably about at a level with the roof. So you think with a good running start,
stories,
you could get. Say again.
The roof below me is 2 stories, right? So it's about at the same height here.
Yes, correct. So you think with maybe a good running start, you could jump to it.
Before I do
like
that,
an awkward climb and straddle.
Before I do that, I want to look. Are there any chimneys on this building?
Yeah, I think there's got to be ventilation at the top. Sure.
Eyeballing the chimney, does it look big enough for an elf to slip down?
Roll in and check.
Oh. I don't know.
You're not sure.
Ah, shit.
You're not sure. You'd have to try climbing down to find out.
Well, that's not going to work. Can I see if there are any doors or windows along this edge of the building?
There are. Yeah, that's overlooking the sea. And there's actually another set of doors on that side of the building.
Cool. So what I want to do is I want to hop down and lower myself off the wall at this point. And drop myself down to that next area. I've got tumbling if you want me to make a tumbling check.
Why don't you?
It's
if you'd rather tumble, or you can take the time to lower yourself.
I wanted to take the time to lower myself. I was trying to be helpful, but I rolled a 2, so.
I'm not going to make you take any damage, but I think you make a scene, and you see a dwarf poke its head out one of the upper windows.
Can I try and duck behind the building at the last moment, or is it lost?
You dive into a shadow, into the crook of the building, and disappear. The dwarf heard you thump, heard you fall, drop off the ledge. I think it was taller than you realized, right?
Mm-hmm.
You lower yourself, but even then you fall by like, I don't think it's damage, but it's still like nearly a 10-foot fall.
Yeah, it's painful.
Mm-hmm.
My knees are.
Maybe you shout "ow," ouch, as you fall. So the dwarves are on alert, but they don't spot you at this moment.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Qualnir needs to have an ego score, and every time he does something stupid or embarrassing, he takes ego points of damage, and once his ego reaches a certain level, he
rages or something.
Yeah, acts irrationally, or goes on a murder spree, or just has to like go and cry himself to sleep for a couple of weeks.
If we could mechanize that if you were serious, but I don't think so.
Another day, I think.
So you're hidden in the shadow, pressed up against the building.
Yes.
You hear low conversations in Dwarven, sort of up above. And then with a thump, a window closes.
From up above?
Mm-hmm. The dwarf that had heard you and looked out.
So, after resting for a few moments to clear my head, Qualnir is going to try and peer around that edge and see down this area to see if there's any dwarves in this path.
Roll a perception check.
Sneaky, sneaky, Qualnir looky.
Yeah, you can hear some dwarves around the corner. You're not sure if they're coming this way, but you can hear them. You hear the bell of a ship in the distance and the soft thumbing of harp strings.
I want inside this building. It's gonna be tough to get in. I want in so badly. All right, with a decent breath, I'm actually gonna just poke my head down that and see if I can visually see any dwarves near this door.
Down. Oh, this door is closed. You can hear noise. The noise you hear is around the side of the building.
Perfect. So I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I want to slip up to this door and inspect that. Oh, I didn't bring my lockpicks. I'm naked. Ah. That's the one other thing I should have brought with me. I totally didn't even think about it. Okay, I want to look up. Does it look like the second story has windows or doors that are open?
There are windows that are closed.
It'd be ridiculous to have a door on the second story that leads out over nothing. What is the surface of this wall? It looks like a wood building.
It is a wooden building, yeah.
Okay. You said the sun is setting?
Yep.
And the sun sets not over the water, right? The water faces... No.
The water's facing west, yeah, the sun's setting behind you.
So, if I were to climb the building, I would actually be illuminated by the sun, rather than in the shadows of the building.
Yeah, the sun is shining right on you.
All right, well, that means I'm going to...
But you'll be backlit.
Sure. I'm going to slip to here and come around. I want to go around the other side. I want to use that little narrow passageway.
Hold the phone. There's no... Where did you just go? You can't teleport like that.
I wanted to come down here.
There's no passageway around the back.
Didn't you say that there was a jump or a leap and a straddle to get from the high ground to the low ground? Doesn't that mean there's a gap between the building and the wall?
It's like a disconnect. The gap is like less. It's too narrow for you to squeeze between.
Okay.
It's like less than a foot, but there's a height difference.
I see.
And the running jump was more to clear the 5-foot ledge, unless you wanted, like I said, like straddle the gap and try and climb.
Looking out to sea, are there any ships in this area, like right here, like right next to us?
Not immediately next to you, no.
All right, well then I'm just gonna try and scale this building and see if any of those windows are unlocked.
Okay, roll a climbing check.
Volnir's mission is already falling apart, guys. Climb walls is a 44, and my climbing walls is 95%. So.
And you probably get a bonus for being naked.
Probably.
Right,
actually,
you scale the outside of this wooden building up to the second-story windows. You look in and can barely see what's on the other side because of the glare of the sun off the glass. There's no immediate commotion, though.
I'll cusp my eye around the glass.
Yeah, you adjust and get a view of a dwarf's ass. There's a dwarf standing on the other side of the glass, like facing the other direction.
I want to take a look at the edge of this window. Does it look like it opens ever, or is it like solid paned?
It opens out. In fact, you saw one of the other windows up here opened out.
Great.
There's a dwarf like standing on a second-story ledge or something.
So, I will lower myself back down to the ground floor. I want entrance to the building, but I actually don't want to be on the second floor. I want to be on the ground floor. So I'm going to keep moving forward until I get to, the edge of the building.
Oi! You hear a shout from behind you, and the window you were just peering in is like open, and there's a dwarf hanging out. He like points at you, and then he pulls his head back inside, and there's more shouting and dwarven from the inside.
Let's just leave.
All right. Around the front of the building, there is another steel golem, but he's too slow to catch you or anything. If you make a running escape, do you signal to Michelle or anything?
Nope. I let her do her thing.
Okay.
I'll just skip all the way back home.
Okay.
Where I will re-gear up and then begin to rub this oil into everything I have. Into my body, into my gear, into my weapons.
Take a minute or two and you think it's not working, and then you notice your hands, like the first place you squirted them, starting to go transparent and disappear. You continue rubbing, I think rub your eyes, and you can't see your hands in front of you, and then you can't really see the room behind you, and it all just sort of like goes out of focus into a gray, hazy mist. And you kind of adjust, and you see the outline. Which room in your house are you in?
I'm doing it in the bedroom.
Yeah, you see like the hazy outline of your bedroom, and you can kind of see into your room.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like you're there, but you're not there, and your body's taken on a weightlessness. You're not of your gear. You kind of know it's there. You're like aware of your sword at your waist. Do you think you could draw it if you wanted? But sort of looking down, your body is taken on this a grayish, wispy etherealness to it. I think you can kind of see yourself or perceive yourself once you're used to it.
Okay. I will head on. I will use this opportunity to go across town quickly.
Do you just like phase through your wall? You're totally comfortable with that?
I want to try phasing through the door.
Yeah, you can
first.
you kind of tell that your wall's there, but you can just sort of slip right through it.
Sweet.
You sort of spot the rose groves. I mean, you've got the vague sense of like being in the presence of others, but you almost can't. I don't know. It's not like you see them, but you can I don't know. It's like you kind of see through the wall and
sort of feel.
It's all weird. Yeah, I mean, you pass through their house and others. You pass others on the street, but they're not clear. They're somewhere else. They're distant, even if they are close. You phase like right through a pedestrian somewhere up here on these steps.
Okay. Generally speaking, I'm gonna try and walk around other people. The concept of walking through them is still bizarre to me.
Yeah, I mean, okay. You can walk. Sure. Yeah, you can head over there. I mean, you pass right through solid objects.
Right.
So walking isn't even really necessary. You probably are still doing weird things with your leg muscles if you as you're like trying to reach out, but they don't even contact the ground beneath you. You're kind of just like hovering, and your legs like dangling limply beneath you. If they even are legs anymore, you kind of just see a gray haze. But you kind of will yourself in that direction.
Yeah, I'll will myself right on through into the warehouse.
Sure. Yeah, you can pass through. Do you pass like through the doorway or through the...
I'll go through the open doorway if it's still open.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will head straight down that hallway. And I will try and go through the door at the back and into the hall and into the great hall, and then...
Yeah, you feel like the tingling on the back of your neck, like you're not alone, and like you can see glimpses of other beings. Must be the dwarves, right, as you pass through this warehouse. But it's kind of hard to locate them exactly, and they appear to take no notice of you. You just clip right through boxes and walls, and you head to the back of the warehouse. There's like a gate. There's actually like a hallway that connects the wooden warehouse to the stone behind it. And you see the hallway it's got a carved gate that's of different construction. Sort of framed in wood. So there's like a small wooden building, if that makes sense, that like connects out the back. Not even built. I mean, it's only a foot long, but just like and you pass right through the entranceway. There's a hallway before you, but you could just as easily pass sideways into the stone.
No, I'll walk the hallways because I'm gonna have to exit this route. So I want to be figuring out my exit route as much as I am figuring out where I'm going. So
yeah. The hallway is lined with doors, and the most prominent in the back.
As I go through these doors, I want to stop and take a look at them and make note of which ones might be locked or barred.
Do you poke your head through any of them?
Yeah, I will. Whoop, what's in here? Okay.
All right, you poke your head into like a bedroom. There's no one in it now. The door could be locked, but you have no way to interact with it to like check. And it's much so. There's on the other side. There's a small armory.
I gotta see. Are you pinging things? That was on the wrong side.
No, I haven't really been drawing. I guess I can. So that's like off to an armory. Each of these is like a bedroom. These are just like rooms. And then this large door at the end leads to a great hall with a long table down the middle. And this room is full of other souls.
Lots of them?
Dwarves, yeah. Like a couple dozen hanging out at least, filling the tables. There's some sort of like dais at the far end with other doors leading from here.
I will go and poke my head through each of those doors until I find something that looks like it would be Granite's bedroom.
Yeah, you clip through a few dwarves, and you've at the back behind the dais. There's a small chamber. That appears to be the main bedroom. There are other rooms off the sides.
Do any of those rooms look like a treasury?
No, there's no like room filled with piles of dwarven gold.
Yeah,
it's immediately obvious to you.
I wouldn't expect them to just pile their gold in an empty room. Yeah, but you never know. Sometimes you get lucky. Let's see. This map is generally to scale, right? Like the town map is to scale.
Yeah.
So I'd gone. Say so. Okay, so it's like half a mile. So it's definitely been less than half an hour to get at least to their front door. So I'm I feel like I've got some time left. So I want to go back and walk into that armory and take a look about. See if there's anything that is outstanding, anything that looks like it is out of place, any weapons that look especially decorative or expensive, anything that looks like it's in a place of honor or prestige or glory or reverence.
So you can't actually interact with any of the objects, but you can kind of see them. Do you have appraisal?
I bet I do. I do.
Try rolling an appraisal check.
25.
There's nothing exceptional. I mean, it's a dwarven armory, right? So these are good steel weapons, sets of dwarven steel mail and things. There's likely thousands upon thousands of gold worth of arms in the room. So this is out, like, you left the main hall, right? But, yeah. But no obvious, magical loot or decorative swords that may be worth more than face value.
Okay. Then I will make my way to what is supposedly his bedchamber.
Yeah. Let me know if you make any odd trajectories. It sounds like you're just passing through doors.
I'm passing through doors and
even hovering at at floor height. Probably paddling your legs uselessly beneath you.
Right. Actually, you know what? So we're in here. It looks like I want to check out and see if there's anything, because there's a door here and a door here and a door here and a door here. But it looks like there might be room for something back here or something over here. So I kind of want to, walk over to this edge of the wall and then, I think Quolnir's still a little uncomfortable with this, so he'll, reach against the wall as if to hold himself and then, lean through the wall and try and see if
you
there's
even have trouble
side.
Locating where the wall is. You just kind of phase right through it, if that's your desire.
Yeah, it is.
And you clip into the wall, and everything, you can't. I mean, actually, your ethereal senses are still active, so you can kind of still see, even though you're fully immersed in rock. But you're kind of aware that you're in the bedrock of this area, and you flail around for a bit, and then you find yourself coming through to a hallway, on the other side. You clip through to some other passage. It's dark, and all you have is your infravision. But yeah.
So you say there is another hallway over here somewhere.
Yeah, you've clipped through to some other underground passage. You're not exactly sure. I mean, so you went into the wall, and you're surrounded by rock, but you phase around a couple of feet and find your way into another passage. I don't know if it's as you're trying to get back into the room behind you, you do a U-turn or something.
Yeah, I don't want to get lost in these other passageways. So does it look like it runs? Can I see the stonework well enough in the ethereal plane to actually recognize it and see if it's the same workmanship, or
roll? I don't think you can. I mean, you can roll a check, but it's not self-evident.
What would you like me to roll?
Perception.
Any penalties? Sure. Any bonuses?
We'll just do a flat perception.
22 border.
Yeah. So where are you inspecting the stonework?
So I want to inspect the stonework in the room in this great hall. And then I want to inspect the stonework in the side passageway and see if they are similar, if it looks like they are part of the same complex.
They don't appear to be. So with that perception check, I think you'll be able to tell that the dwarven great hall is sealed off from that side passage. It looks like new, the whole thing has been plastered over or worked over with stone.
Okay.
The other. So are you looking at it from the passage, or did you go back into the hall?
So go into the hall, take a look at the walls and the ground, and then I go into the passageway.
Yeah, there's a thick stone border on all sides of the dwarven great hall.
Okay.
And you pass into it seems like the side passage is some other construction that's been sealed off or set aside or forgotten.
Daggert did say all the passageways are connected eventually. And more.
What do you say? You just need to pick.
Yeah. Okay. I'm comfortable with this. I will. I'll just walk along the border and make sure that there's nothing else coming off of the Great Hall before I enter this room and stay there.
You don't notice any other secret passages or anything like that. And you make your way into the back bed chamber. It is unoccupied at the moment.
I want to look in everything. I want to poke my head through chests and closets and doors, and I will use this as an opportunity to scout out where all the valuables are.
Yeah, roll another appraisal check.
20 plus 12, 31. Good job, Connar. You done well.
Yeah, you're able, that's probably, I guess, more to find the. Yeah, you find it pretty quick. You find like a chest hidden under the bed. It's a small chest, though. You pull it out. It's got a fair bit of wealth. Let me consult treasure tables for a second. And let's see. Here we go. Yeah, it's got. Yeah, so this chest is filled with a couple of hundred gold and platinum coins. I don't know if you can actually tell metal types through the whatever, as well as a few gems.
Okay.
It's a small lockbox though. I'm not sure what Connar appraises. Well, you just nailed that appraisal check. This can't be all of it, but.
You think there's? It seems like there should be more wealth here.
You know, this looks like it looks like a personal stash or something like that. Like you're thinking that this organization. I don't know. I mean, I'll leave you to draw your own conclusion. But this looks like Granite's lockbox, but it's not. Okay. It's probably not the treasure hoard unless his criminal organization is only second rate. But like this is barely enough to outfit. Like there's as much value in the armory as there is in this lockbox.
All right, so I think the rest of it must be perhaps upstairs in the main chamber. I'm gonna go double check this room and this room over here because I didn't. There's other things up here you said were bedrooms over here, but I don't remember what you said these were. So I want to poke my head in again.
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
They are also dwarven bed chambers. Yeah.
Do they? How many beds are in them? Ballpark figure.
These are like they're personal
single
chambers.
Rooms? Okay.
Yeah, these two are.
And these other ones over here housed multiple dwarves in each one, right?
Yeah,
like
this
barracks?
one here was more of like a bunk room.
Yeah. Cool.
Although you're not really sure where they all sleep. Right, there's I mean, maybe they just like mill about this great hall all the time. I mean, that's where they seem to be right now, right? There's a lot of dwarves in this hall, and there were a lot of dwarves hanging out in the warehouse.
Connar's headcanon on that is that they get drunk and they fall asleep wherever they are, and then they wake up the next day and go about their work. He's not too concerned if there's not enough beds for them. Connar's we all make assumptions based on the species that we're dealing with here. I will phase up through the floor and poke around on the second story quickly. I want to
there's no second story, so you can phase up to the second story, but the inner warehouse it's a 2-story open warehouse. Mm-hmm. There is a balcony that rings on the second floor. And a single like a foreman's like lookout, like a building within the building in the back corner.
I will go into the foreman's building within a building. and just start looking in any container or anything that
You
looks
can't
like
actually move containers. And actually, I'm not sure how you saw the treasure now that I think about it.
I can't look into them. I can't just put
You can
my
look
head...
into them, but then it'd be dark.
But isn't it dark
inside
everywhere?
of a box?
It's all ethereal, man.
It's all ethereal,
light a torch?
man. An ethereal torch?
Yeah. And besides, I have dark vision.
Yeah. You're an elf. You're an elf.
I just poke my
It's
head into
fine.
all
Everything's
things.
fine. You poke around. I think it's mostly like ledgers written in Dwarven. You find another small stash of coins, even less than was in the front. Just like some pouches of spending gold.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing of obvious value.
Well, I'll have to extract the information in a different way. I will speed my way back to Granite's room.
All right, this time you clip through walls and dwarves and furniture alike.
Yep. And when I get there, I will lay down ethereally on his bed and then just sink below his bed until I'm underneath it. There's space between his bed and the floor, right?
There is, yeah. It's like it's actually made of wood. It's like a big wooden frame bed with like decorative
just to be doubly sure
posts on the corners.
There's enough room down here that when I come back into my body, I could leave the bed area, right? I'm not like going to be stuck under the bed.
You're not going to get stuck in the bed. No, there's enough space underneath it for that's actually where you found the box, I think.
Right. I just want to make sure that I'm not like, now you're stuck in the bed, Neal. You're dead. Cool. So I will phase bed. Maybe it'd be better just to be above him in the bed. Maybe I'll lay on my belly and phase above the bed. No, I'll stay under the bed. Is there a closet here?
There is a closet.
Can I fit in the closet and hide in the closet?
You can hide in the closet.
I'm going to hide in the closet and wait to rematerialize.
Okay. It's a good thing you weren't waiting above the bed because you rematerialized within another 10 minutes or so. Alone in Granite's bedroom.
Now that I'm in the closet, I want to try and open it enough that I can like peer through a crack.
All right. You are in position. How long do you wish to wait?
Qualnir's impatient. He's going to do his best to sit here quietly and just wait for the dwarf to come in. Let's see, the sun was going down more than an hour ago. So the dwarves will probably party for a while. I might be here for a couple of hours, is what Qualnir's thinking.
Yeah.
And he's not really psyched about that concept. So he's gonna do his best to wait. All right, Qualnir. You're very impatient. So I think 5 minutes passes and he's like, it must have been a couple of hours. The dwarves aren't here yet. Well, let's go take a look at what that treasure is underneath the bed.
Sure.
And he'll sneak out of the closet, kind of shut it, and then crawl under the bed and pull the chest towards him. Maybe actually drag the chest over to the side of the wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
The side of the wardrobe that's away from the door.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then start to play with the locks and see what's in. Try and open up the chest.
Do you have your lockpick?
I do. I have all my gear with me.
Okay, go ahead and make your check.
All right, my percentage is 95. And I roll a 10. Nice.
Click. The lock opens, and it's not trapped. Are you just looting it?
Yeah, I want to take... Yep.
Inside is 16 gold, 40 platinum, and roll me another appraisal check.
30.
And 3 gems of fancy quality.
That
3
Are fancy gems 500, 100?
100.
ask
Say
for.
3 100 GP gems.
Did we get the type on them?
Do you want the type? I was going to give you the type, and then you were asking me how much they cost.
Yeah, I just like my order, my information in a specific order, but I will take the type if you can offer it.
Let's say they're jets. Deep black polished stones. They're sort of like...
Wonderful. Yeah. All right, I'll pocket these things and push the cupboard, the box back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just... Oh, wait.
Yeah.
And after a few minutes, I'll probably get bored and like poke around with some other stuff, and then go back and wait. And Qualner is very restless. He's not used to.
Yeah. Roll a perception check.
12. Oh, his restlessness
Yeah.
is going to be the end of him.
Okay. All right. You hear some motion, but at this time, it's before it's too late, and someone is entering the room.
I will
A heavy someone, from the sound of it.
try and like go right beside that.
And then there's
wardrobe again.
Granite's voice. How did you get in here? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Bruno, take care of him. And there's a clang, clang, clang as one of the mailed dwarves steps past Granite into the bedroom.
All right. Do we do this combat right now, or do we save it for another week?
It's a lot of dwarves to fight your way through.
All right, guys. Maybe next week we'll be back with some more Dicing with Death. And we will... God, this whole plan did not go well. And we'll see how we get out of this sticky situation. Only you're so impatient.
Yeah, well,
It's okay.
he nailed his perception check. He knew someone had been in here as soon as he opened the door, and you just didn't. He had time to gather his guards. Yeah, so I guess this seems like a reasonable place to end it. I don't know if we can mow through 40 dwarves in the next 40 minutes. Well, who knows?
Minute and more? Maybe.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. You got some misclicks tonight, right?
We do. We have Misclick's Minds of
Vandelver. I love the name. It just gets remixed every single time anyone says it. It's like horrible choice in name, Wizards, but
yeah.
at the same time, it's great.
And I think in between then and now, or now and then, I'm going to try and get that It's Fine emote up and running, but it's going to be off stream that I'm working on it, off camera. And then tomorrow is Wednesday, and I think we're going to do some heavy fro planning tomorrow, because we're entering Chapter 3 of Frozen Frontier.
What does that mean? More giants? More epic loot?
We will have to figure out what that means. That's what our planning is going to be tomorrow.
I hope there are more dragons to slay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have you fight the only dragon in Caledonia is not going to be something you fight at early levels. You guys have just started exploring this country.
Yeah, there was that moment when the whole map was revealed and it was like, oh.
We've just been on this tiny little tip. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Yeah.
Well, any other announcements?
Happy spring break. Happy spring. Ryan, do you have any spring break plans?
No. Catch up on all the writing I've been neglecting. So.
You gonna write something good?
As long as it passes me, I'll take it. No.
Spoken like
it's all good,
student.
right?
Yeah.
No, it's really not. But hey.
I'm sure it'll be great. It'll be fine, Ryan.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. All right, guys, that's it. We're out. We'll see you later, unless Ryan has any announcements.
No.
Bye-bye.
See you next week, or later
Sunday.
today if you're or Sunday. D&D all the time.
All the time.
What a time to be alive.
It really is. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.